Hey, Andrew.
Look at that backdrop. Look, what a magnificent... Look at that backdrop. Magnificent, isn't it? And so is this. So, good morning and welcome. I'm Vivian King, the President and General Manager of the rail company BCRTC, and will be hosting this special event today. I would like to start by welcoming Joyce Murray, Member of Parliament for Vancouver Quadra, on behalf of the Honourable Amajit Sari, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities. I'd also like to welcome Peter Fassbender, our Minister of Community, Sports and Cultural Development, and the Minister responsible for TransLink. Jonathan Cote, Mayor of New Westminster and member of the Mayor's Council, is here as well, and our CEO, Kevin Desmond of TransLink.
Excuse me, and Minister Andrew Wilkinson.
My apologies, and Minister Andrew Wilkins. Welcome, Minister. Thank you. We also have Rick Marini, Head of Operations for UUE, which is the Unit Electrical Engineering Group that builds the SkyTrain's induction motors. So welcome. And welcome invited guests. What I'd like to do is invite our speakers one by one to join us for a few words. So thank you, Joyce, Minister.
Well, good morning, and thanks for that kind welcome, Vivian. I'm delighted to be here, and I lived in New Westminster for 18 years, so I'm very pleased to see the New Westminster Minister or Mayor Jonathan Cote here, and it reminds me of the years that I rode SkyTrain into downtown Vancouver and back to New Westminster several times a week, and just how important that was to me personally. So it's a pleasure to be here with also Minister Fassbender, Kevin Desmond, and Minister Andrew Wilkinson to celebrate this important funding agreement between the province of British Columbia and TransLink. So I'm proud that the Government of Canada funding will cover up to half of the cost to purchase 28 new SkyLink trains. These trains will increase the efficiency of public transit in Metro Vancouver and for commuters right across the region. Investing in public transit creates connected, sustainable communities and provides a better quality of life for the middle class and those working hard to join it. It's about helping Canadians get around safely, reduce congestion, and keep our environment clean. And so, with these critical goals in mind, the Prime Minister announced in June that the Government of Canada is providing $460 million under the new Public Transit Infrastructure Fund, and British Columbia is providing $308 million to help shorten commute times, cut air pollution, and strengthen communities across the province. So combined with contributions from municipalities, more than $900 million will be going towards public transit right across the province. Our government recognizes that investing in infrastructure is essential to growing the middle class and equipping municipalities with the building blocks they need to support a high standard of living for Canadians and their families. Underfunding of infrastructure contributes to traffic congestion, which pollutes the air and stifles the productivity of our workers and our businesses. So that's why it is so important. So phase one of this infrastructure plan is already at work in our communities, supporting vital repairs to our aging pipes and roads, helping communities improve social housing, and allowing transit organizations to replace 70-year-old signaling systems. Here in British Columbia, over $1.4 billion in combined funding is now available through two federal programs that we introduced in phase one, the Clean Water and Wastewater Fund and the Public Transit Infrastructure Fund. So far, 61 projects have been approved under these programs, including the rehabilitation of various stations across the SkyTrain network. But this is only the first step. The Government of Canada will provide more than $180 billion over 12 years for public transit, green and social infrastructure, trade and transportation, as well as rural and northern communities. Our plan provides unprecedented levels of funding for projects across the country, projects that will help with long-term economic growth, build inclusive, sustainable communities, and support a low-carbon, green economy. So from important local projects like the ones that we're announcing today to large-scale developments that contribute to smart growth on a national scale, we will build 21st century infrastructure that prepares our communities to meet today's unique challenges and prosper for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to invite Minister Fassbender up to the podium to say a few words. Thank you, Minister.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's amazing to be here, standing here looking at the beautiful North Shore Mountains, seeing the SkyTrain going by, carrying people throughout the region, and I'm delighted to be here along with my colleague, Minister Andrew Wilkinson, on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish people. We are delighted, MP Murray, that you were able to join us, and Mayor Cote, delighted to see you here. Kevin Desmond, the CEO of TransLink, and Vivian, who is responsible for the on-time performance of SkyTrain, and she's doing a great job. I need to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I came here today on SkyTrain, there was lots of folks that were riding, and I got a chance to talk to a few of them. And one of the things that they said to me this morning is how important this infrastructure is for the future of building our communities. Mayor Cote, on behalf of the Mayor's Council, knows how important it is to move people for economic growth. And it used to be, Joyce, people left New Westminster to go into Vancouver to work. Now they're leaving Vancouver to go to New Westminster because we're building an economic region that doesn't have any boundaries. And so today is about that. I'm delighted on behalf of the province to announce that Kevin Desmond and I, in a couple of minutes, will be signing a procurement agreement that is going to purchase 28 new Mark III cars that are going to be part of the expansion because of the Evergreen line and upgrading the system. And those 28 cars represent about $93 million of investment as a result of the federal investment, the provincial investment, and the investment of the mayors and the decision they made on Phase 1. When we say Phase 1 is the beginning of the fulfillment of a 10-year plan. And we are delighted to see that all of us in partnership are going to deliver the most effective and efficient transportation system, I believe, in the world. It is, with the Evergreen line, the longest automated driverless system in the world. And we've only begun. We've got the expansion on the Broadway corridor as part of Phase 2, south of the Fraser in Surrey, new C buses, upgrades of stations, all the things that are going to ensure a tremendous and robust transportation system. So on behalf of Premier Clark, the members of our government, I'm delighted to sign this agreement today. It is putting our money where it needs to be, and that's on the rails in the communities in Metro Vancouver and the other investments, as MP Murray talked about, throughout the province. So thank you very much. I've got my pen ready, and I'm not going to give it to Kevin as a gift afterwards, but we're going to sign in just a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Fassbender. I'd now like to invite Mayor of New Westminster, Jonathan Cote, to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here representing the Mayor's Council today on this really important day for public transit in our region. Not only are we dealing with an agreement with the provincial government and the federal government about the SkyTrain cars, but really we're talking about a kickoff of Phase 1, which will result in significant investment in public transit all across the Metro Vancouver region. Now, transportation has really become one of the most critical issues in the Metro Vancouver region. Our region has grown significantly, both in population and in economic development. But this growth has put a lot of strain and pressure on our transportation systems, and it's critically important that we start investing in our public transit system. Now, Phase 1 is an important first step of that investment, and we're here today, fittingly, at a SkyTrain station to announce the ordering of 28 new SkyTrain cars. And this is going to be so important to improve the efficiency of our existing network and reduce overcrowding. But as I mentioned, Phase 1 includes impacts that are going to affect every single community in Metro Vancouver and goes far beyond the SkyTrain lines. There's going to be bus service improvements in every municipality and community in Metro Vancouver, and we're going to be able to reach out to communities that have been newly formed and currently don't have transit. So that's why this investment is so important. Now, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the significant partnerships with the federal and provincial government, because without their contributions, we wouldn't be able to stand here today. It is those contributions combined with the contributions from local governments that are allowing us to take this step forward and get Phase 1 of the Mayor's 10-year vision of transportation going forward. But 2017 is going to be a critically important year for us in Metro Vancouver. This is an important first step in moving our region forward with transportation, but there are many more investments that need to occur. So I'm looking forward to an upcoming year and hopefully future announcements with our provincial and federal counterparts, because it is those partnerships that are going to be absolutely necessary to deal with the transportation challenges. So I could sit here and talk about transportation for a long time, but I can't feel my toes, so I'm going to wrap that up. But thank everyone for being here, because this is a really important day for public transit in the Metro Vancouver region.
Thank you. Yes, definitely a very exciting day. I'd now like to invite CEO of TransLink, Kevin Desmond, to say a few words.
That's right. I wouldn't want to read the minister's notes, although his font size is the correct size that I can read without my reading glasses. Well, good morning, and thanks for coming out here on a wee chilly morning and waiting for us to make our remarks and so forth. And I'm very delighted to be here with our partners from all three levels of government to help announce this very important procurement of 28 additional SkyTrain cars, largely just like the cars you see behind you. These are actually the Mark II cars. The Mark III cars are pressed into service, bringing people to and fro already this morning, but they will be the exact same cars that we purchased for the Evergreen extension. And I think you heard all three talk about the next phase and how important it is to keep going. And if you just imagine, in a few short years, this train will keep on going down Broadway all the way to Arbutus. Once we continue to work with federal government to receive our Phase 2 funding for these important rapid transit projects and our partnership with the province going forward. So I very much want to, on behalf of everyone at TransLink, thank our partners and thank the leadership of the Mayor's Council in helping to complete the deal from all three levels of government. We cannot achieve the Mayor's 10 years vision without that partnership and that continuing strong commitment to public transportation and moving people here in this dynamic and growing area of the country. After months of planning and preparing, TransLink is ready and eager to start implementing the service and infrastructure improvements outlined in Phase 1 of the 10-year vision. The 28 new Mark III SkyTrain cars from Bombardier will be coming in, we hope, at the end of 2018 and early 2019, pressed into service by 2019, and not a moment too soon. As I was coming in as well on SkyTrain, and we saw people coming in on the Millennium Line, maybe many of them coming from the Evergreen Extension. Those cars were packed with people transferring here at Commercial Broadway. We need more fleet. We need more capacity in the system to meet these demands. Once in service, the new Mark III cars will let us carry up to 3,600 additional people in our fleet. That's more than a 12% increase in capacity over our current numbers during peak periods. This expansion of SkyTrain fleet will help our customers by reducing wait times and crowding, and is a continuation of our ongoing efforts to modernize our SkyTrain system and customer experience. Today's announcement is just one in a series of steps we're taking to expand service for our customers and reduce wait times. As you heard from Mayor Cote, as early as January, we will start the initial service improvements outlined in the Mayor's vision, with additional SkyTrain service on the Expo Millennium lines, additional peak service on Canada Line, and moving C-Bus to 15-minute all-day service, and importantly, we'll begin to put out additional Handy-Dart service for our very important customers. And then again, beginning in April, and then throughout the rest of next year and over the next couple of years, additional very important increases to bus service. Just on Monday, I was out at Coquitlam Center. Some of you were at that cold press event as well to talk about the major service improvements that we're making on Monday in connection with the Evergreen line. So we're just at the beginning of implementing phase one of this plan. We look forward to delivering on the service improvements and that our customers have told us loud and clear they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Now a little bit of formality where I can invite the Minister Fassbender and Kevin Desmond to sit at the table and sign this agreement so that we can get some more trains. Thank you. Yes. Well, thank you. We now have the signatures on the paper. We can submit the order and get those trains here as quickly as possible. But now I'd like to offer an opportunity to let the media ask questions. Pamela, would you like to come and facilitate that for us? Thank you very much.
Just before we get questions, how about we do a photo op with all of you guys together? We'll get a picture marking this occasion. You want to just stand all close together there? Okay, great, thank you. Any questions?
Each car in this procurement's about $3.3 million, and each car, they're sets of four, because the Mark III cars are a continuous train set. So we actually think about the entire four-car train. For the entire four-car set? Per car, about 320. So the Mark III cars, even compared to these, which are married two-car sets, provide more capacity, in part because of the continuous gangway and some modifications we made to the seating arrangements. Total fleet is 314? 314.
It will be with the new.
It will be with the new fleet. So 314 minus 28's current fleet. Yes, so the contract, it takes about 2 years. to order all the many parts and build the cars. We expect by contract to have all the fleet here by the end of 2018, and we'd be in a position to start rolling out the fleet by early 2019. I believe they're going to be assembled in Plattsburgh, New York. But many of the components are built here in Canada, including from our supplier of the linear induction motors.
The Phase 2 funding is contingent on the next federal budget, and I know that MP Murray and her colleagues, Minister Sohi, are scoping that out. Once that comes out, the provincial government will look at the commitment from the federal government, and we're working with the regional mayors in terms of some ideas they have for additional regional funding, and we'll be working on that. But the beauty is with Phase 1, we have the time to work out those details.
I'm an optimist. You can't be in our business without being an optimist. But, what you see here, this partnership from the three levels of government, the federal government understands the importance of public transportation and how metropolitan regions throughout the country are going to have to grow sustainably and successfully. The province understands that and believes that, and obviously all of our mayors understand and believe it. So the Phase 1 funding continues the pre-procurement work we're doing for both the Broadway extension and the Surrey Light Rail projects. I remain very confident with the kind of partnership that we have at all levels of government and the importance of this to the future of the Metro Vancouver region, that we will see the day when these trains are operating further west. And I hope it's coming pretty soon. Well, you're referring to the B line, the 99 B line, or the transfer. Yes, this is a very, very busy transfer location. My understanding, actually, we move more people through the commercial Broadway station than YVR moves in a day. So that gives you some sense of scale. That's going to be a pinch point. There's no doubt about it. And as we see additional ridership coming from the Evergreen extension, we're going to be watching that very, very closely. But we need additional fleet to help relieve some of those capacity constraints. So today's announcement shows that some of that help is on the way. In the meantime, we're going to do our best to move our customers. Customers are going to find different ways to get around. They will, I think, adapt to whatever crowding conditions might happen. But so far, I think the station is working well. So far, I think the capacity is meeting the demand. Well, the good thing was that we were exercising options on the contract that we in the province had with Bombardier for the Mark III cars for the Evergreen extension. So we didn't have to go through a brand new procurement. If we had to go through a brand new competitive procurement, that would have added at least a year to the process, and it might have been really more like 4 or 5 years before cars got here. So we took advantage of that. We began working with the province and working with Bombardier in the summer. As the mayors were working towards ultimately the approval of the Phase 1 process, we knew that we had the federal money in hand. We knew that we'd be reaching today's agreement with the province on the PTIF funding. So we moved very quickly so that as soon as the mayors were in a position to adopt, and our board adopt the Phase 1 plan, we could give Bombardier the notice to proceed. That's correct. So I think, as you heard, 50% of the funding comes from the federal government, 33% from the province, 17% from the region. That's it. Speak up. Can't hear you. No. Typically, the cars will be delivered one by one, in effect. Then it takes a period of time once they're here to do final testing and preparation, and then we start rolling them out. So the trains, all of the trains by contract, all 28 cars, that would be 7 trains, should be here by the fourth quarter of 2018. So some of them could start rolling out as early in service as early as late 2018. Most of them, I think, more likely early 2019. So I think from a public expectation standpoint, early 2019 would be our target. Well, actually, in the phase 2, in the total 10-year mayor's plan, assumes we're buying a lot more cars for fleet expansion, not only for the Broadway expansion, but just to meet expected capacity. So we need to hurry up and get phase 2 taken care of, because it is critical to get more cars in the system. Those 28 will be welcome, but we look forward to the day, hopefully in 2017, you heard from Mayor Cote, we're already beginning work on phase 2, and as soon as we get the phase 2 deals done, we're going to go out for procurement for more train cars. In the 10-year vision, let me get back to you in the exact number. I think it's 115 cars. Total in the 10-year vision, but Pamela will give you the exact number.
Other questions?
That's it.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
That's fine. I might just formally close it. So thank you. That's it. Thank you for sharing this historic event and the signing of our contract. And we look forward to putting those trains on the system as soon as we can. Thank you.